male black, no clothes, took the gun from a King County Jail employee.
A gunman held a nurse prisoner in a hospital emergency room. That gunman was already in police custody when he tried to make a break for freedom.
10 News begins with breaking news.
That breaking news in Illinois, a nurse held hostage, an inmate being treated just outside of Chicago, accused of stealing a gun from a correctional officer. Just in the last 45 minutes, he was shot and killed by the SWAT team. The nurse wasn't harmed and is now with her family. The standoff lasted hours in the emergency room. Patients were cleared out before SWAT moved in. One woman describes being evacuated.
I heard a nurse call a code silver, which means there's an active shooter. And we were told to get into the bathroom stalls and lock them. So we did. We were in the bathroom for about 20 minutes. And then we were escorted into a conference room in the ER just down the hall.
Some patients were being turned away and sent to other hospitals. Operations in the ER are getting back to normal. Ambulance services will be restored in the next couple of hours. And this just in, a death investigation in Carlsbad. Police were called to Palomar Oaks Court, not too far from the airport, just before 11 o'clock this morning. The investigation has been handed over to the medical examiner's office. We're waiting to find out more information. As soon as we have it, we'll bring it to you. Now to a breaking news update. 3 children in the back of an ambulance. We know their father was the suspected drunk driver who flipped his car with them in the back seat. 10 News brought you the crash to you as breaking news last night on 10 News at 11 o'clock. The car crashed into a tree and rolled onto its side on Sunset Cliffs Boulevard in Ocean Beach. Officers pulled several beer cans and liquor bottles out of it. The driver was arrested. His children are expected to be okay, but were taken to the hospital to get checked out.
Oh yeah. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. It's tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
Let's go do something.
Only 10 News was there as more than 400 Marines and some sailors reunited with their families at Camp Pendleton this afternoon. Military reporter Hannah Mullins has the homecoming so huge it's happening in waves.
It has been a long 7 months, so just being able to hand their Marine a hat meant a lot.
Where are they?
7 months seems like a long time when you're 5.
It was like 54 years.
So it seemed like forever as the Marines worked their way in.
Where are they?
Now, this Marine's nephew was trying to be tough.
You can just call me Austin.
Austin couldn't be more proud of his name or his uncle.
And I got a special present for him. It's right here.
His mom just wanted to hold him.
Not being able to get in touch with your baby is really hard.
She couldn't help but worry as they projected power in the Western Pacific, the Middle East, and the Horn of Africa. The 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit, which was on board the USS Macon Island, worked with other local ships. They operated as a floating military base during a turbulent time.
I didn't get to see him Christmas, so I get to see him Mother's Day.
They were busy patrolling dicey waters off Yemen after rebels launched missiles at Navy ships. Then in March, the MEU offloaded about 400 Marines in Syria to support the fight against ISIS.
He's going to teach me how to be a Marine. They make people safe and feel better.
But the longer it took, the harder it was to be tough.
Just overjoyed. I'm so glad to see his beautiful face. I'm so glad to have him home.
Glad to be home.
His name is actually Landon, but he wants to be just like his Uncle Austin, so he pretends it's his name too.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The last of the 4,500 Marines and sailors should be home this week. At Camp Pendleton, Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
Hannah, thank you. North Korea has launched a missile that flew about 435 miles. That's according to the South Korean military. It's unclear what kind of missile was launched. This comes just days after the election of a new South Korean president. It also comes as troops from the U.S., Japan, and 2 European nations gather in the Pacific for drills that are partly a message to North Korea. Well, huge plumes of smoke overtaking a northern California highway. A grass fire sparked in Los Banos, a city in Merced County. The video was posted, posted on Instagram this afternoon, but what's interesting about it is on the right side of the road where the video was taken, you can see the traffic is backing up. But on the left side where that fire actually is, well, it's barely slowing down. It's unclear how that fire started. A second fire, though, this one lit up the early morning sky in Oakland. It broke out at a construction site. Crews are concerned that a crane at the site could fall. Firefighters are expected to be on the scene until tomorrow. No one was injured, and there's no word on a cause. Well, turning now to our weather, taking a live look outside. It's a nice day, beautiful today. today, but heading into next week, we are looking at a chance for rain. 10 News Pinpoint weather anchor Jennifer De La Cruz tracking all of that.
Yes, chance for rain. Not going to be a big storm like the one we saw last weekend, but we do have that chance of rain in our forecast. Beautiful day outside today. Started out cloudy, but we did see a good amount of some clearing. Taking you to Coronado right now, a mix of sun and clouds. Plenty of people out there enjoying their Saturday. We're going to see a similar situation for tomorrow. Temperatures right now in the 60s along the coastline, 68 degrees in San Diego, 63 in La Jolla, 68 for you in El Cajon. Our temperature change, we're slightly warmer than when we were at this time yesterday in San Diego and La Jolla. Our mountains and deserts, so cooler than where we were yesterday. Your evening planner for the next couple of hours will be at 66 degrees on the coast by 6 o'clock with a mix of sun and clouds, and we'll start to see some clearing into the evening, but that chance of rain is coming up. I'll talk more about that in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Jennifer, we'll wait for that. Meantime, new details. The former Tennessee teacher accused of kidnapping his 15-year-old student planned to kayak to Mexico from Coronado Island. Tad Cummins planned to use aliases of a married couple so that they would blend in once they crossed the border. Cummins also told authorities that he had sexual contact with Elizabeth Thomas, quote, most nights during their time on the run. They were eventually tracked down in Northern California. Cummins faces a minimum of 10 years in prison and a maximum of life. Happening now, interviews underway for a new FBI director after the firing of James Comey. This is video of the first candidate, Alice Fisher, pulling up to the Department of Justice. She's one of 4 candidates expected to be interviewed this weekend. That group also includes Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn. Even more interviews are expected to be announced in the coming days. They come just one day after President Trump added a new layer of confusion to the matter by tweeting an apparent threat toward the former director. It read, James Comey better hope that there are no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press. The White House then refused to comment on the matter.
Are there recording devices in the Oval Office or in the residence?
As I said for the 3rd time, there is nothing further to add on that.
Well, President Trump is also coming under fire for suggesting that all future press briefings might be canceled because he's too busy for his staff to answer questions with perfect accuracy. Well, the school is releasing disturbing surveillance video of a little boy who took his own life 2 days before Gabriel Tay took his life at home. He lay unconscious inside the boys' bathroom at his Cincinnati school. Now, this video at the center of controversy. Gabriel was bullied and knocked unconscious by another student. He was on the floor for 7 minutes before another student got help. At first, the school district denied that the video showed any bullying.
Take responsibility in what's been going on and do their professional job the right way.
2 days later, Gabe, just 8 years old, hung himself with a necktie in his bedroom. The case is still under investigation. But now to a health alert. More than 900 California students and school staff members recovering from the norovirus. Health department officials say the illness has been spreading at an alarming rate in Yolo County. Symptoms include fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach pain that can last up to 3 days. Health officials are warning the public to stay home for 48 hours after their symptoms go away. Well, catching cancer before it spreads. It was the goal at today's free mammogram testing at Petco Park. 10 News reporter Jessica Chen shows us the state-of-the-art technology they're using to fight breast cancer.
I know so many people who have passed from breast cancer.
It's one of the reasons why Rosa Aguirre is out here Saturday.
Just to make sure that I'm okay for me and my family.
She says saving money is also a big draw, getting her mammogram done at the Susan G. Komen and Padres event for free.
Living in San Diego is very expensive.
She says with insurance, she still has to pay a few $100 to get it done.
When I did do a mammogram through my insurance, I did have a really high deductible.
Dozens of women with and without insurance took part in the event. Organizers say getting tested is so important. 6 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every day in San Diego, but there is a 99% survival rate for those with the most common type if detected early.
But when we're able to pan through those pages, it would really become apparent in a 3D mammogram. We're really, really proud of it.
Lisa with Community Health Imaging Centers, who is doing the procedure, says they're using state-of-the-art equipment.
The difference in me doing it compared to someone else doing it, I'm more comfortable having someone else check me.
Rosa says taking care of her health is the best thing she can do for herself.
I mean, I have 3 kids and I want to be here for them.
At Petco Park, Jessica Chen, 10 News.
Well, travelers have it a lot easier here in San Diego than they do at LAX today. Right now, the airport undergoing its biggest terminal shift in its history. Overnight, the airport started shuffling terminal numbers and gates. For the next 5 days, 15 airlines will make a move. LAX warning passengers to double check their ticket information.
It's confusing enough dealing with the regular traffic in the airport, but when you got construction on top of that, that adds to the confusion.
The changes are part of a nearly $2 billion plan to renovate 4 terminals at LAX over the next 7 years. Hijacked by hackers, the biggest ransomware outbreak in history. 99 countries, including the U.S., how this cyber attack is now crippling hospitals. And a phone scam targeting vets who misdialed the number for a healthcare program. Plus, mowing down pollution, how San Diegans, how dozens of them went green today.
Clouds are building and that marine layer is moving in. I'm tracking a chance of rain coming up in your 7-day forecast.